Myself Shubhashish Shah, Assistant Professor of Mathematics of Greater Kolkata College of Engineering and Management, GIS School. In this video, I will discuss about matrix representation of a graph. In my previous video, I discussed also about matrix representation of a graph, and that was about the incidence matrix representation. And now I will discuss about the adjacency matrix representation of a graph. And the name of this subject is Mathematics 3. Subject code is BSc 301, and this subject is in the syllabus of the students of Computer Science and IT of 3rd semester under MACOUT, and this is in module 4 of mathematics syllabus. So let's start. So I told you in the previous video, when I discussed about incidence matrix of a graph, to represent a graph, drawing the graph is not only the way, you can also represent a graph by a matrix also. So there are different types of matrix representation. Now I will show how an adjacency matrix can be written corresponding to a graph, or vice versa, that is, we can also draw a graph if an adjacency matrix is given. Okay. So first we are taking a graph . Let us take now like this. Now when you are watching this video, you can also draw this graph and you can try with me, then it will be easier to understand for you. Okay, so I am writing here another vertex. This is a vertex and this is our edge. Okay, and now this. So V1, V2, V3, V4, V5, V6, V7. Okay. Now, if we consider this graph, we have to write the adjacency matrix corresponding to this graph. Now, what is adjacency matrix and how adjacency matrix is written? So, in incidence matrix, I remind you, the number of the rows of an incidence matrix was equal to the number of vertices, and the number of the columns was equal to number of edges of the graph. But here in adjacency matrix there are a little bit difference from the incidence matrix. In adjacency matrix, the number of rows and the number of columns both will be equal to the number of vertices. I repeat, the number of rows and the number of columns both will be equal to the number of vertices. I am writing here number of rows equal to number of columns equal to number of vertices. So it is clear that the matrix will be a square matrix. That is, adjacency matrix is always a square matrix since number of rows and number of columns are equal. So in this graph, we can see that there are 7 vertices. So there will be 7 rows and 7 columns. Now I am writing the matrix. So V1, V2, V3, V4, V5, V6 and V7. I'm naming the rows and columns V1, V2, V3, V4, V5, V6, V7. So there will be 7 rows and 7 columns. Now what will be the elements of the matrix? Now the rule is, suppose we are taking this element, you have to see this element is corresponding to which row and which column. So this element is corresponding to this V1 and this V1. So now we have to see that V1 is adjacent to V1 or not. If the two vertices are adjacent, then the element will be 1, otherwise it will be 0. That is, if the two elements, suppose you are writing this element is corresponding to V3 and V1, third row, first column, that is V3, V1. So you have to check if V3 and V1 are adjacent or not. If they are adjacent means, you know, if there is an edge between V3 and V1, then the vertices are called adjacent vertices. So if the vertices are adjacent, then the element will be 1, otherwise 0. If they are not adjacent, it will be 0. Simple. So I'm writing here the rule Aij equal to 1 or 0. So when 1 if Vi and Vj are adjacent, and 0 if Vi and Vj are not adjacent. It's very simple. So now I'm writing this matrix. So first this element, that is A11. So V1 is adjacent to V1 or not? That is, if there is any edge from V1 to V1, so there is no edge from V1 to V1 means there should be some self loop. So there is no self loop, this will be 0 since V1 is not adjacent to V1. Now for this element we have to see the adjacency of V1 and V2. Now V1 and V2 is adjacent since there is an edge between V1 and V2. So there will be 1. Now for this element we have to check the adjacency of V1 and V3. Now V1 and V3, there is no edge between V1 and V3. So V1 and V3 are not adjacent. So the element will be 0. So in this way we have to check all the adjacency and the matrix. Now see, V1 and V4 are not adjacent. So this will be 0. So for saving your time, you can take one vertex, that is, if in this row I am taking V1, see that V1 is adjacent to which of the vertices. So since V1 is adjacent to only one vertex V2, put 1 in V2 and all other elements will be 0. Now for V2, check V2 is adjacent to which of the vertices. V2 is adjacent to V1, V6 and V3. V1, V6 and V3. So in V1, V6 and V3 put 1 and all other elements will be 0. If you follow this way, time will be saved. Okay. Now for V3, V3 is adjacent to V2, V7, V4. V2, V7, V4. So put 1 in V2, V7, V4 and all other elements will be 0. Now for V4, V4 is adjacent to V4 itself since there is a self loop, V4 itself, V3, V7, V5. 4 vertices, V4, V3, V7, V5. So V4, V3, V7, V5. All other will be 0. Now for V5, V6, V7, V4. V6, V7, V4. So V6, V7, V4. All other are 0. For V6, V6 is adjacent to V2 and V5 only. So we are putting 1 in V2 and V5 and putting 0 in all the other space. Now V7 is adjacent to V4, V3 and V5. So V4, V3 and V5, all other will be 0. Okay. So this is the procedure how to write an adjacency matrix for a given graph. Now I have told already that adjacency matrix is always a square matrix, and adjacency matrix is always, you can see that if I am naming this matrix suppose A, so A transpose will also be equal to A. That is, adjacency matrix is always a symmetric matrix. Adjacency matrix is always a symmetric matrix. Okay. Now, from adjacency matrix, we can also draw the graph. If adjacency matrix is given, we can also draw a graph. Now I am taking an adjacency matrix and I will draw the graph. Okay. Okay. So let us take an adjacency matrix like this. 0 1 0 0 1 1 1 0 0 1 1 0 0 0 0 1 0 0. Fourth row 0 1 1. Please write with me and you can practice with me. 0 1 1 1 1 0 1 0 0 1 0 0 1 0 0. I am naming the rows and columns V1, V2, V3, V4, V5, V6, V1, V2, V3, V4, V5, V6. So this is an adjacency matrix. It is given. We have to draw the graph corresponding to this matrix. So since the matrix has 6 rows and 6 columns, we can say that there will be 6 vertices of the graph. So we are drawing. First we put 6 vertices. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I am naming this V1, V2, V3, V4, V5, V6. Now we will draw the edges. Now consider any one row or any one column. So I am considering first row, that is V1. Now see in which position there are 1. See, in V2, in V5 and V6 there are 1, and in all the other places there are 0. And if there is 1 in any place as an element in the adjacency matrix, we know that there are adjacency. So here there is 1, that is V1 and V2 are adjacent. So there will be an edge between V1 and V2. Okay. And there is 1 also in V5. So V1 will be adjacent to V5. Okay. In V6 there is also 1. So V1 will be adjacent to V6. So for the first row, I have drawn all the edges. Now come to the second row. So if you see the second row, you can tell that V2 is adjacent to it. V1, V1, V4 and V5. V1, V4, V5. V2 is adjacent to V1, V4, V5. So V2 is adjacent to V1. It is, the edge has been already drawn since we have completed the first row. So V2 will be adjacent to V4 and V5. So we are drawing the edges between V2 and V4 and V2 and V5. Okay. Now, for V3, V3 is only adjacent to V4. V3 is only adjacent to V4. Since there is only one in one position, that is corresponding to V4. Now, come to the fourth row. V4 is adjacent to V2, V3, V5, V6. V2, V3, V5, V6. So V4 is adjacent to V2, V3, V4. V4 is adjacent to V4. No, V5 and V6. So V4 is adjacent to V5 and V4 is adjacent to V6. Okay. If there is one in this position, that will be V4 will be adjacent to V4. That is, we have to draw a self loop corresponding to V4. Okay. Now come to the fifth row, V5. V5 is adjacent to V1, V2 and V4. V1, V2 and V4. So V5 is adjacent to V1, V2 and V4. All the edges has been already drawn. Now for the sixth row, we can see that V6 is adjacent to V1 and V4. V6 is adjacent to V1 and V4. These edges have already been drawn. So this is the graph corresponding to this adjacency matrix. Okay, so this is the process how to draw a graph corresponding to an adjacency matrix. Now I have already told you some properties of adjacency matrix. Adjacency matrix is always a square matrix. It is always symmetric matrix. Now in a single row or in a single column, just by seeing, just by watching, just by counting the number of 1, you can tell the degree of that vertex. That is, suppose if we consider this row, see there are 3 ones, so we can tell that the degree of V5 is 3. Now check, degree of V5 is 3. Okay, so number of 1 in any row or any column is equal to the degree of that vertex. Okay, so this was all for the adjacency matrix corresponding to a graph and a graph corresponding to an adjacency matrix. But this was for undirected graph. Now I will tell you, if the graph is directed, then how to write the adjacency matrix, or how to draw a directed graph if the adjacency matrix is given. Okay, so now I will tell you adjacency matrix for digraph. Digraph means, you know, directed graph. That is, the edges are directed in some direction, certain direction. So first we draw a graph, then it will be easier to understand for you. You draw with me. Okay. So now I will give the directions. This in this way, this is this direction in this way, and in this way. Okay, so this is our directed graph, and we have to write the adjacency matrix. First we name the vertices. This is V1, this is V2, this is V3 and V4. Okay, now there is a little bit difference from the in the procedure of writing adjacency matrix for a digraph and for undirected graph. We know that in an undirected graph we have to write 1 if the vertices are adjacent only. In which direction we do not see because the graph is undirected. But if the graph is directed, then the element will be like this. Aij will be 1 if there is an edge. There is an edge from Vi to Vj. That is, direction is mentioned. if there is an edge from Vi to Vj, then put 1, otherwise it will be 0. Otherwise it will be 0. Okay. Now if we follow this rule and we try to write the adjacency matrix of this graph. So there are 4 vertices, so there will be 4 rows and 4 columns, V1, V2, V3, V4. Now for this element, we see that the name of the row is V1, the name of the column is V1, that is A11. So you have to see if there is an directed edge from V1 to V1. So you see that there is a self loop. There is a self loop from V1 to V1, so there will be 1. Okay. Now for this element, we have to see if there is an edge from V1 to V2, not V2 to V1. First consider the row from V1 to V2. So there is an edge in between V1 and V2, but not in the direction from V1 to V2. The edge is from V2 to V1. So here it will be 0 because the edge is not from V1 to V2. Now for this element, we can see that there is an edge from V1 to V3. From V1 to V3. So there will be 1 and there is no edge between from V1 to V4. So here it will be 0. Now for this element, we have to see if there is an edge from V2 to V1. Yes, there is an edge from V2 to V1. So here it will be 1. From V2 to V2, no edge. From V2 to V3, okay, from V2 to V3, there is an edge. There is an edge. There is the edges in both directions, from V2 to V3 and from V3 to V2 also. So they are parallel edges. So here it will be 1, and from V2 to V4, no, there is no edge. Okay. Now for this element, from V3 to V1. From V3 to V1, no, there is no directed edge from V3 to V1. From V3 to V2, yes, there is an edge from V3 to V2. So there will be 1. From V3 to V3, no, there is no self loop, so it will be 0. Now from V3 to V4, yes, there is an edge, there will be 1. Now from V4 to V1, no, there is no edge. From V4 to V2, no, 0. From V4 to V3, no, there is no edge. From V4 to V4, no, there is no edge. Okay. So this is the adjacency matrix of a digraph. Okay. So this adjacency matrix is also square matrix, but it will not be symmetric because in adjacent we are maintaining the direction of the edges, and in that order we are putting 1 and 0. That is, if from V1, Vi to Vj there is an edge, that does not mean there is an edge from Vj to Vi also. So adjacency matrix for a digraph is not symmetric. But what happens in the adjacency matrix of an undirected graph? If there is an edge from Vi to Vj, there is also an edge from Vj to Vi generally. So adjacency matrix of an undirected graph is always symmetric, but adjacency matrix for a digraph is not symmetric. Okay. Now we will show how to draw a digraph if the adjacency matrix of a digraph is given. Okay, the reverse procedure. Okay, so I will take an adjacency matrix of a digraph. Okay, let us take this matrix 1 0 1 1 1 0 1 1 0 1 1 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 0 0. So this is an adjacency matrix corresponding to a digraph. It will always be mentioned that is it is an adjacency matrix for a graph or digraph, or you can, but just by watching you can understand that if the matrix is not symmetric, then it can't be an adjacency matrix for a digraph. Okay, so it will also be always be mentioned that either it is adjacency matrix or it is incidence matrix, and the matrices are for undirected graphs or directed graphs. Or you just by watching, in some cases you can also understand that which matrix is this matrix and for which type of graphs. Okay, but in maximum cases it will be mentioned. So now this is an adjacency matrix for a digraph. We have to draw the digraph. Okay, so clearly there are 4 vertices, so we are placing 4 vertices. You can place at anywhere the vertices. There is no restriction for the placing of the vertices in your plane. Okay, now see, here is an 1, that is there is some edge, directed edge from V1 to V1. So, and directed edge from a vertex to itself, it means there is a self loop. So I am drawing a self loop and giving a direction. And here direction, the order of the direction of the arrow, it is not a matter of problem in which direction you are giving, because this is a self loop. You can put it in this way or this way also. Okay, so next, here this is a 1. So V1 to V3, there is a directed edge from V1 to V3. So V1 to V3, directed edge. Okay, now here this is a 1, so there is an edge, directed edge from V1 to V4. So V1 to V4, and this is the direction. Now for the second row, there is a directed edge from V2 to V2. So here we have to draw also a self loop from V2 to V2, and I am giving this direction. Now for this one, there is a directed edge from V2 to V3. So V2 to V3, and the direction will be like this. Now for the third row, there will be an edge from V3 to V4. So V3 to V4. Okay, and for the fourth row, there will be edge from V4 to V1 and V4 to V2. V4 to V1. V4 to V1, that is, there will be a parallel edge, and V4 to V2. V4 to V2. So this is our required digraph for the given adjacency matrix. So in the previous video and in this video, I have discussed all about the matrix representation of a graph and a digraph, and the 2 types of matrix representations are adjacency matrix and incidence matrix. And I am telling you one thing: matrix representation for connected graph and disconnected graph. I am not discussing about this separately because there is no different things I have told you. Okay, about connected graph, I have shown you all the connected graphs, not disconnected graph. So same method will be followed for disconnected graph. Same method. Okay, there is no difference. Now, if a graph is disconnected, okay, then suppose I am just telling you theoretically. Suppose a graph is disconnected. A disconnected graph, you know that disconnected graph is a collection of some connected components. Suppose G1, G2. Okay, so this is G, and G is this graph, and the component of G is G1 and G2. So this is a disconnected graph because there is no path from G1 to G2 or G2 to G1. Now for this graph, if you want to write an incidence matrix or adjacency matrix, anyone, same method will be followed. Just a property I am telling you. Okay, just by watching the matrix, you can say that this matrix is for connected graph or the disconnected graph. That is, graph is connected or disconnected. If the matrix can be, suppose xg is the matrix. If the matrix can be written as like this, xg1, okay, 0, 0, xg2. If it can be separated like this, then you can say that the matrix is for disconnected graph. Otherwise, it will be connected graph. That is, you can do permutation in the rows and columns of matrices. So by doing permutation between the rows and columns of the matrices, you can reduce in this form. Then you can tell that this matrix is for a disconnected graph. Or matrix, another application of matrix representation is, if you are given two graphs, suppose two graphs are given and they are isomorphic. To prove the isomorphism between them, you can use matrix representation of the graph. Suppose you write the adjacency matrix of the first graph, of the first representation. Then you write the second adjacency matrix for the second graph. Now, by doing permutation between the rows in any one of the matrix, you can bring another matrix from the previous matrix. Just by doing permutation between rows, take one matrix, do permutation between rows, you will see that another matrix has come. If this is possible, then you can say that two matrices are isomorphic, two graphs are isomorphic. If by doing permutation another matrix can't be brought, then the graphs are not isomorphic. So this was all for matrix representation of graph. You have to practice. Various types of problems are given in books. Okay, so many problems, discussion of so many problems is not possible in single video. I will try to make another video by just for some examples and problems, so that you can understand it easily. But you have to practice in home. Okay, so if you face any problem during practicing this type of problems, you can contact with me. My contact details is given in the first slide of this video. Thank you.